Part 1. The Will to Power as Business Strategy. Welcome to Shadow Psychology. You stand at the edge of a revelation that will transform how you approach business forever. For too long, you've been taught to follow conventional strategies, chase trends, and measure success by superficial metrics. The business world operates on herd mentality, copying what works, fearing innovation, and worshiping at the altar of predictable growth. Today, we begin a dangerous rebellion against this mediocre approach. We will harness Friedrich Nietzsche's most powerful psychological concept, the will to power, and weaponize it for entrepreneurial domination. The will to power is not about crushing competitors or ruthless aggression. In business, it represents the fundamental drive to create, innovate, and impose your unique vision upon the marketplace. While others chase funding and viral moments, you will learn to generate an internal force so compelling that success becomes inevitable. Most entrepreneurs operate from a place of lack-seeking validation, following investors' whims, desperately chasing success. The Nietzschean entrepreneur operates from abundance, creating markets, setting trends, and defining new standards of excellence. Consider how industry disruptors operated. Steve Jobs didn't ask consumers what they wanted. He showed them what they needed. Elon Musk didn't wait for the automotive industry to embrace electric vehicles. He forced the change. These are examples of will to power in action, the relentless drive to shape reality according to one's vision rather than conforming to existing paradigms. Your first practical exercise begins now. Take out your business plan and identify 3 areas where you're following conventional wisdom. Are you using generic marketing strategies, copying competitor pricing models, following industry best practices without questioning their relevance? These are your herd mentality indicators. For each one, ask, if I were to impose my unique vision here, what would I create? This simple but profound shift in questioning activates your will to power. The common entrepreneur seeks safety in numbers, following well-trodden paths and relying on proven methods. The Nietzschean entrepreneur understands that true greatness lies in pioneering unexplored territory. Your will to power is the engine that will drive you beyond the comfortable, beyond the conventional, into the realm where real innovation happens. This is not about working harder. It's about tapping into a deeper level of creative energy that most business owners never access. Most business education teaches you to analyze markets and react to trends. We're teaching you to create markets and set trends. The difference is everything. When you operate from will to power, you stop asking, what does the market want, and start declaring, this is what the market needs. This psychological shift transforms you from a passive participant into an active creator of your business destiny. The weak entrepreneur follows. The sovereign entrepreneur leads. The herd seeks validation through metrics and milestones. The visionary finds validation in the act of creation itself. Your will to power is waiting to be unleashed. If you're ready to transcend business as usual and create something that truly reflects your highest potential, subscribe now. The most dangerous business transformations begin when you stop following and start willing your vision into reality. Part 2. Amor, Fati, loving your business. Fate. Most entrepreneurs see failures as setbacks, but you will learn to see them as the essential raw material of your success. This is where we move from resisting your business reality to embracing every aspect of it with what Nietzsche called Amor, Fati, the unconditional love of one's fate. Your failed product launches, rejected pitches, and financial struggles are not obstacles. They are the exact experiences needed to forge your unique entrepreneurial journey. While the common approach teaches resilience, enduring suffering until better times come, Amor Fati is radically different. It's about actively loving every aspect of your business path. That marketing campaign that failed? Love it. That partner who betrayed you? Love it. That economic downturn that wiped out half your revenue? Love it. Why? Because these experiences are carving you into the entrepreneur you need to become. Practice this transformation now through strategic reframing. Take your biggest business failure and ask, what strength did this experience force me to develop? What clarity did it bring that success never could? How did this exact event prepare me for my current challenges? This isn't positive thinking, it's psychological alchemy where you transform the emotional weight of past struggles into rocket fuel for future growth. Consider how every great entrepreneur's most valuable insights came not from successes, but from their darkest moments. Steve Jobs' firing from Apple shaped his approach to product development. Arianna Huffington's bankruptcy led to her insights about wellness and performance. These weren't just setbacks they overcame, they were essential ingredients in their ultimate success stories. When you stop fighting your past and start loving it as an indispensable part of your story, you unlock profound creative power. The energy you once spent on regret and resistance becomes available for innovation and growth. The weak entrepreneur hides from failures, while the Nietzschean entrepreneur displays them as badges of honor, the necessary fires that tempered their will and clarified their vision. Your business fate isn't something that happens to you. It's something you choose to love and weaponize. Most business coaches teach avoidance of failure, but we're teaching you to embrace it, because failure remains life's most honest teacher, where success merely confirms what you already know. If you're still trying to craft a perfect business journey free of problems, you're missing the fundamental point. The problems are the point, the struggles are the curriculum, and Amor Fati represents your conscious decision to stop being a student who complains about difficult lessons to become the master who understands why each lesson is absolutely necessary for your evolution. Part 3. The Übermensch Entrepreneur. Creating New Markets. The ordinary entrepreneur follows market trends and consumer demands, but you are called to become something greater. The Übermensch entrepreneur who doesn't respond to markets, but creates them. This is where we transcend conventional business strategy and enter the realm of true visioneering. While competitors chase customer preferences, you will shape them. While others analyze gaps in the market, you will create markets that never existed. Nietzsche's Übermensch isn't just a philosophical concept, it's your business blueprint for achieving what others consider impossible. Most entrepreneurs operate within established paradigms, but your task is to break them. Consider how Uber didn't just improve the taxi industry, it redefined transportation. Airbnb didn't just offer better hotels, it created a new category of accommodation. These weren't incremental improvements, but fundamental resets of their industries. Your path lies not in being better than competitors, but in making competition irrelevant by playing a different game entirely. This requires what Nietzsche called the revaluation of all values, questioning every assumption about your industry, from customer needs to delivery methods to the very definition of value itself. Begin your transformation today with these practices. First, identify 3 sacred cows in your industry, beliefs everyone holds but never questions. Second, imagine how you would rebuild your business if these assumptions were false. Third, design one impossible service or product that would make your current offerings obsolete. This isn't about thinking outside the box, it's about realizing there never was a box. The Übermensch entrepreneur understands that markets aren't discovered but created through sheer will and vision. You're not here to serve customers, but to create new ones who never knew they needed what you offer until you revealed it to them. Your journey forward requires embracing what Nietzsche called self-overcoming, the continuous process of outgrowing your own success. The moment you become comfortable is the moment you become obsolete. The market creator's mindset demands perpetual evolution, where today's innovation is merely tomorrow's foundation. While others seek stability, you must cultivate creative disruption, not just in your industry, but within your own company and yourself. The future belongs to those who can not only imagine new realities, but have the courage to build them despite the uncertainty, criticism, and temporary failures that accompany all true innovation. This is your calling: to stop competing and start creating, to cease following and begin leading, to abandon the safety of established markets for the limitless potential of those waiting to be born. Part 4. Master morality in business ethics. Traditional business ethics operate on what Nietzsche called slave morality, reactive rules created from fear and limitation. You're now called to practice what he termed master morality, a proactive ethical framework born from strength and responsibility. This isn't about abandoning ethics, but about creating a higher code that serves your vision while elevating everyone it touches. Where conventional business ethics ask, "What shouldn't I do?" Master morality asks, "What great thing can I create that benefits all?" Most businesses operate on borrowed ethics, following industry standards, government regulations, and social expectations. But the Nietzschean entrepreneur develops their own ethical compass based on their unique vision and values. Patagonia's environmental stance isn't just compliance, it's a moral declaration that transformed an industry. Salesforce's 1-1-1 model isn't corporate social responsibility, it's a new paradigm for business philanthropy. These companies didn't follow ethical rules, they created them, turning moral leadership into competitive advantage. Practice this shift through 3 daily questions. First, does this decision come from fear or from strength? Second, will this action create more value than it extracts? Third, how does this align with my deepest values rather than external expectations? This isn't about rejecting all conventions, but about choosing which conventions serve your higher purpose. The weak business leader follows rules blindly. The sovereign entrepreneur understands that true responsibility means sometimes having to transcend conventional right and wrong to achieve what's truly right for their mission. The highest expression of master morality comes through what Nietzsche called the path of the creator, establishing values that others can follow. Your business becomes ethical not by avoiding harm, but by actively creating good through products that solve real problems, cultures that empower employees, and business models that regenerate communities. This requires the courage to sometimes defy conventions, face criticism, and stand alone in your convictions. Where slave morality seeks to limit the strong, master morality challenges everyone to become stronger. Your ultimate ethical duty isn't to play by the existing rules, but to create better rules that elevate the entire game. Part 5. Eternal Recurrence, the Ultimate Business Legacy. This final stage introduces Nietzsche's most profound philosophical test, the eternal recurrence, as the ultimate measure of your business's meaning and purpose. Imagine confronting this reality. Every business decision you make, every product you create, every employee you hire, every success and failure you experience will repeat infinitely, exactly as it occurred. Would this thought fill you with despair or profound satisfaction? Your visceral reaction reveals everything about whether you're building a business that truly aligns with your deepest values. Most entrepreneurs operate on autopilot, chasing quarterly results and external validation while ignoring the fundamental question: are they creating something worth repeating for eternity? The eternal recurrence thought experiment cuts through all superficial measures of success, revenue, market share, valuation, and exposes the core truth about your entrepreneurial journey. A business built solely for profit becomes a meaningless burden when contemplated through the lens of infinite repetition. But a venture that expresses your authentic values, serves a genuine purpose, and brings fulfillment becomes more precious with each imagined recurrence. Begin applying this today through what I call eternal decision-making. Before every significant business choice, ask the decisive question: if I were to make this same decision infinite times, would it strengthen or weaken my spirit? This single practice transforms how you approach everything from hiring to product development to partnerships. That potential hire who's perfectly qualified but shares none of your values. The recurring nightmare of working with them eternally makes your decision clear. That lucrative but ethically questionable client? The thought of serving them forever reveals their true cost. This isn't just another decision-making framework. It's a philosophical operating system that aligns your daily actions with your eternal values. Consider how this perspective reshapes fundamental business concepts. Innovation becomes not just creating new products, but designing solutions you'd be proud to reinvent forever. Leadership transforms from managing people to cultivating relationships worth repeating eternally. Even failure becomes different when viewed through this lens. Not something to avoid, but an essential part of a journey you choose again and again. The businesses that truly matter aren't necessarily the most profitable, but those whose stories are worth retelling infinitely. The practical implementation requires daily rituals. Start each morning by reviewing one business decision through the eternal lens. End each day reflecting on which actions you'd willingly repeat forever and which you'd redesign. This consistent practice creates what Nietzsche called the great sanity, a profound alignment between your actions and your authentic self. You'll naturally begin gravitating toward decisions that bring deeper satisfaction, not just short-term gains. This philosophical approach surprisingly solves one of business's most persistent problems: burnout. When you're building something worth repeating eternally, Work transforms from draining obligation to meaningful expression. The late nights become not sacrifices, but investments in creating something timeless. The challenges become not obstacles, but essential plot points in a story you love too much to abandon. This is the ultimate antidote to entrepreneurial exhaustion. Not better time management, but more meaningful work. Your legacy won't be measured by your exit valuation, but by whether the world is genuinely different because you built what only you could build. The eternal recurrence question: is this business worth repeating forever? Becomes your guiding star toward creating something that doesn't just succeed but matters. While competitors chase trends, you're building something eternal. While others optimize for quarterly reports, you're designing a venture that would bring joy infinite times over. This perspective reveals the hidden truth about great entrepreneurs throughout history. They weren't just building businesses, they were creating their eternal recurrent stories. Steve Jobs wasn't just creating technology, but tools for human creativity he believed worth designing forever. Henry Ford wasn't just manufacturing cars, but reinventing transportation in a way he'd proudly repeat. Their true motivation wasn't wealth, but the desire to imprint their values permanently on the world. Now you face your own eternal question. Every business decision from this moment forward carries eternal weight. That product you're considering? Design it as if you'll refine it forever. That company culture you're building? Shape it as if you'll inhabit it eternally. That marketing message you're crafting? Write it as if you'll stand behind it infinite times. This isn't philosophical abstraction, but the most practical business methodology you'll ever implement. The transformation completes here. You began learning to harness your will to power, then to love your business fate through Amor, Fati, progressed to creating new markets like the Übermensch, advanced to developing your own master morality, and now arrive at the ultimate entrepreneurial wisdom, building a business worthy of eternal recurrence. This is the difference between building a successful company and living a successful entrepreneurial life. The former can be measured in money, the latter in meaning. Your entire entrepreneurial journey now filters through this final question. When you evaluate opportunities, you'll ask not, "Is this profitable?" but, "Is this eternally meaningful?" When you face challenges, you'll ask not, "How do I survive this?" but, "Would I choose to face this again infinite times?" This is the ultimate liberation from superficial business pressures and the beginning of truly sovereign entrepreneurship. The weak entrepreneur builds what the market demands. The Nietzschean entrepreneur creates what the eternal self requires. Your business becomes not a separate entity, but the physical manifestation of your values, repeated and refined through every decision, every day, into something that would bring pride and fulfillment forever. This is the final integration, where philosophy becomes balance sheet, where eternal questions drive daily operations, where your business becomes your eternal signature on the world.